forecast. To my right, we have Alex himself. Alex, how you doing?
Hello, everyone.
And across from him is Garrett. Garrett, how you doing?
Peachy as always.
I think I called you Garrettith. I don't know how that works.
That's what I heard.
I heard you called me Garrettith.
On accident.
I'll settle for Garrettos. That's about it.
Garrett, people make mistakes.
Ooh.
It's how they react to them is what you have to judge them on. So judge me on that. Let's talk about the comics coming out tomorrow. Or excuse me, tomorrow. 11/29/2017. It's the last Wednesday and Thanksgiving. In November, the fifth Wednesday, the Covenant fifth Wednesday, where nothing comes out. Usually nothing comes out, but it's kind of a bit different this year, I believe. A little different, but actually tomorrow is more of a traditional fifth week than usual. At least for DC Comics. We'll talk about them in a second. Dark Horse Comics had one comic, BPRD Devil You Know, number 4. So if you get Dark Horse Comics, get that one. DC Comics, here we go. Aquaman annual number 1. You know what? I jumped off of Aquaman.
Same.
I did like the art, but this is a different writer, Philip Kennedy Johnson, and Max Fumari on the art there. Actually, I read the synopsis. It doesn't sound half bad, but I don't know. Are the annuals? Oh yeah, they are $4.99. I don't know if it's worth $4.99, but if you are interested at all in Aquaman, you saw that Justice League movie, and you're like, I got to learn more about that Aquaman. If that is the case, these are usually good one-shots. This one sounds like a one-shot. It doesn't sound like a continuation of any story. So I think you could just pick that up and read that if you want to. What do you think, Garrett?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wanted to drop off. Like, Sajic's art was the only saving grace of Aquaman. And, yeah, I don't have anything really I want to do with the annual. I don't really have much else to say. I mean, the story didn't really interest me. It just seems like Dolphin, she's a new character that's been introduced.
Yeah.
And like, it would be cool to see her in action a little bit more, but
But you do think,
not
though,
enough meat on the bone.
I don't think it's related to anything. So if you want to pick it up, it's like you're like, oh, maybe
Right.
this is something.
Yeah.
If you want to just pick up one issue of Aquaman, or if it's you thinking looking for a jumping on point, this might be it for you. Speaking of going the other way, this is the Batman annual number 2. Jeez, who? What was that? Big Batman annual number 2. This is actually part of the story. This is Tom King, Michael Lark, and Lee Weeks. Also, Betty Brewmeister on colors. Travel back in time with us to see the early days of the Bat and the Cat. Garrett's favorite. What were Bruce and Selina's first date? How did this rivalry blossom into romance and then go right back into a rivalry again? So this is Tom King's re-teaming with Lee Weeks. They did the Batman Elmer Fudd comic, which I thought was pretty great. Also, Michael Lark coming back to Batman to do this issue. And our favorite, Betty Brewmeister from Kill or Be Killed, doing some colors. But this is like...
I thought it's Elizabeth Brightweister on Kill or Be Killed.
Yeah, Betty's nickname for Elizabeth.
Oh. Betty.
I think she goes by
Beth.
I don't know if she goes by Betty, but with Marvin she does. First name.
We're on a first name basis. So this is going to be kind of like a flashback, if you're a fan of Lost, flashback to this two relationship. Are you looking forward to it, Garrett?
I feel like we've already covered the flashbacks enough already, but I'm sure. I mean, I bet there's unexplored territory that they could still play with. At this point, I'm only going to love this issue. I mean, just that's a joke. If you put Z's on the end of bat and cat, bats or cats, because God, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. That thing I'm not going to be ever okay with. It's so annoying. But everything else, I mean, as long as it ties into the story well, and I mean, it's obviously going to show how much of a connection they have, I think it'll be a great issue. The art team's amazing. Tom King's doing great work, so I feel like it's going to be a great one-shot. Well, not one-shot. It'll just be a flashback that'll add to the story in the next arc. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm always a little nervous, though, 'cause sometimes if I put too much trust in there, I get a little hurt inside.
Alex, what do you think? Oh, go ahead.
So, I think generally when it comes to because King's writing it, right? So every time I read any Batman book of his, I kind of go in with a 60% excitement for it, just for the fact that there have been some issues to me that were kind of stinkers. But as of lately, he's been kicking some ass and taking some names. So I'm hoping it's good. But I do agree with you, Garrett, that I do hate the bat and cat and bats and cats. That does get kind of redundant and a little old.
What do you think about?
I like this cover.
What do you think about Michael Lark? We've missed him on Lazarus recently, but he's going to be doing this one shot.
Oh, I'm so excited to see that art. One, that name may make an appearance in a later show on how much I like that guy.
Spoilers. With the Z.
Anything.
Spoilers with the Z.
Scores.
Batman.
But is this the first time that Lark's done Batman? Probably since, and I don't think since Gotham Central, but maybe. I don't know.
No, he did it. He did it right before New 52.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love how long the Batman's cape is on that cover. It has a ridiculously long cape.
I do like the Batman costume that's long cape, long ears. So they got half of it right. So, yeah, I do. I like it too. I like it when it's like absurd, being like, there's no way that works. But it looks visually, it looks great. So I'm looking forward to it a lot. I believe we're talking about it this week in the podcast.
Yep.
Yes,
yeah,
I think so.
We'll hear about that more.
I may make the list, but I really don't know what I put on there.
So
I'll check. Listen
to the podcast on Sunday if you want to hear more about that. Batman, Creature of the Night #1. This is Kurt Busiek, John Paul Leon. This is the spiritual companion to the beloved Superman Secret Identity. If you listen to the podcast, you know how much me and Garrett love that book. Very, very great comic. This book is been, ever since it's been announced, has been on my radar for, I even believe at the beginning of the year we did what we're looking forward to in 2017, and I think this was top of my list. Let's jump to Alex first here. Alex, Secret Identity, you've read that, right?
Yes.
Where on the enjoyment level is that for you?
I think that is one of the top best Superman books I've read.
And are you looking forward to Creature of the Night then?
I would say yes, but I actually don't know anything about it.
Well,
the first time I heard about it was 2 weeks ago from you guys when you told me to put it on the list.
Well, here, actually, you're correct. Let me read the synopsis just to get people hyped about this. Young Bruce Wainwright lost his parents in a violent crime, and in the real world, no superheroes exist to save the day. But as grief and rage builds inside Bruce, he can feel he can't keep it inside anymore. Something strange starts taking wing in the Gotham night. Perhaps Bruce's grief inside him. What did it say? Perhaps Bruce's grief isn't inside him after all. Modern Masters Kurt Busiek and John Paul Leon reunite for the spiritual companion to the beloved Superman Secret Identity, putting in a new spin you've never seen before in the Legend of Batman and Dark Emotions that drive him. It basically is, if you've read Secret Identity before, it's outside of normal DC continuity, but people know about Superman. And somebody gets named after Superman. And this is kind of in the similar vein. Like something similar happens to a kid. He's a fan of Batman, and it's him trying to use that hero as the basis to like how he should live his life after something tragic happens to him. So it's very Kurt Busiek, I believe I've said in the podcast before, is very good about telling grounded stories about individuals who are in a world that is in this one maybe not so, but usually in a world that's very super, very extravagant. So, Garrett, go ahead.
I was going to say, this would explain where he's been for Autumnlands and busy doing this.
Possibly doing this and doing Natural City. He's still been pumping out that book. But, Garrett, what are you looking forward to this book?
I really am. I mean, I read Superman Secret Identity for the first time. I mean, it was love at first sight, basically. That's one of the best Superman stories I've ever. I think it is my top Superman story. And I feel like there's total potential for Batman to get the same thing out of this. I mean, that's what's nice. It's like, you don't know what's happening in this story. It's a completely original story. Basically, all you need to know is that Batman is a dude in a bat costume. And you could go into this knowing everything you need to. I mean, they're going to help you bridge the gap for the story. And I'm just so excited to jump in. Like, I think that by the time we get to issue 4, it's going to feel like, I'm sure it's going to kind of do the same thing. It'll kind of go through significant points in his life. And by the end, you're going to be like, holy crap, all this happened in 4 issues. You know, it's prestige, but still. I think it's gonna be a great story. So I hope that it lives up to my expectations.
Is it going to have that good cover like what Secret Identity had?
That's the cover right there on Preview Zero.
No, I know.
Oh,
I
that same kind of like
card stock.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah,
it's over
$5.99. Yeah.
Garrett's right. It's prestige format,
right.
So it is $5.99. So, it'll be by the time it comes out, it'll be like a full trade story. So it'll be good. Green Arrow Annual #1. This is Ben Percy, Eleanor Carlini. Looks like it's a Christmas story with the return of Shadow, Diggle, and Merlin. Garrett, how's Green Arrow been? Are you looking forward to Christmas story of Green Arrow?
I absolutely am. I'm all caught up on all my books, and I just caught up on the latest issue of Green Arrow. And man, is this a good book. Like, it's consistently been great. The art's changed. I love all the characters. This has a lot of the good characters for Green Arrow that's going to be in it. So, and if it's a Christmas issue, that'll be even more fun. Because, when you think about Christmas, you think about family. So who cares if the family's trying to murder each other? That's just family. So we'll see how this goes.
The only normal book of the week for DC, at least, Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps #33. This is Robert Venditti, Jackson Hubert, a cover by Francis Manapul. What a beautiful cover, by the way. It's terrifying, but it's still beautiful. Something about that orange background. Francis Manapul knows exactly how to color his artwork to make it pop. It's his artwork, so that's probably why. A new epic begins, Twilight of the Guardians Part 1, when the last two Guardians of the Universe are kidnapped by an unknown foe. Hal Jordan and John Stewart form a strike team with Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner to bring back Gareth and Sade. This is something I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to put something out there. I think this might be a great start of a great arc. What do you think, Alex?
I'm hopeful that it's a good start to a good arc. That last, 2-issue arc we had with, wasn't it Superman and Green Lantern? I wasn't a big fan of that. And I know, Garrett, you probably will disagree. I know you liked that. That art was really good. I wasn't digging it. It kind of took me out of this book.
I didn't think it was the greatest thing ever. I mean, the whole, they were trying to squeeze too much into 2 issues that should have been spread out a little bit more.
So I'm hopeful that this book gets back on track, because those 2 took me out, but I'm not dropping this by any means. This is still probably my #1 DC comic.
Yeah.
We already all know that you love that Manapul cover, so.
It's great.
It looks so good.
It even just the dynamic posting of the way that Hal Jordan is posed on that cover is amazing. Francis Manapul, I wish he would have stayed on Trinity, but I guess he's doing covers now. So,
I can handle him doing covers.
I was gonna say it's a nice happy medium. So, Injustice 2 Annual #1. This is Tom Taylor, M.K. Perker, Brian Buccello, art by Marco Santucci, Jamal Campbell, David Yarden, and Pop Man. Paradise Lost. Garrett, I'm surprised to see an annual by Injustice 2. Has this happened before?
Yep. So when they did the first volume of Injustice, or I guess the first 5 volumes, each one got an annual. The annual usually signified the end of the story, but I don't think that's the case in this instance.
It looks like this is Wonder Woman's Injustice origin, it says in the cover.
Yeah, so basically, it's spoilers, but yeah. She's it's hard to say something without spoiling most of what's going on right now. All I can tell you is, I've said this the whole time, this book continues to surprise me, and I wish that either Marvin or Alex or anybody else is getting this book and is caught up all the way with me. I mean, I know #GuessOS1 is, but I don't want to talk to him about it. But I will, but it'll be 3 months from now. But there's so many shocking things that happen in this book that I'll literally get speechless, and I'll be like, "Ooh, how?" Ooh. And there was one scene where one character kills a shit ton of people, a character you would never think in a million years would kill a crap ton of people, but he does. It's literally, you turn the page and he murders hundreds of people. I'm just like, holy shit, how? And then they explain his reasoning and all that, and it's damn. But so that kind of level of storytelling, I'm always excited for any new issue, especially an annual, because an annual, I get more story for what I'm paying for, and I'm really excited. But to let you know, Wonder Woman's playing a big part in what's coming up next after this annual, so that's probably why she's getting her origin told in this annual.
It is a lighter week, so if you're looking for something that's outside of continuity, but it's going to be 3 issues, also prestige format. Mystic U, this is Alyssa Whitney and Mike Norton on art. Leave the world of the mundane behind and step through the magical doors of Mystic U. After a tragic accident, a young Satana Satara, under the guidance of Rose Psychic, enroll in a mysterious university that teaches its students how to master their unique brands of magic. So basically, this is a retelling. Imagine if there was a Harry Potter-esque magical school, and every magic user from the DC universe went to it. So I actually think it's a nice concept. It's something I was looking forward to this, and it was on my radar, but I didn't realize it was coming out tomorrow. I'll have to look and see if I want to get it. It's a shorter week, but also it's $5.99. So you know what? I have to figure it out. If you are looking for, this is something also that's coming out. DC, I like that they put out they have a class that they teach, and then every once in a while they come out with a new talent showcase for their new writers to see if you like them, to see them tell stories about some characters. Tomorrow one's coming out, new talent showcase 2017. If you want to see who wrote it, go to the website. There's a lot of people there. I'm not going to say all those, but $7.99. Once again, tomorrow's a day of DC like prestige one shot stuff like that. So nice time to jump in if you're interested in that. You guys dropped Super Sons. Are you getting the Super Saiyan annual number 1?
Hell yes.
Peter J. Tomasi, Paul Portier on the art. Super Pets Unleashed. This is Crypto and Titus together at last. You sure you're getting this, Gary? You looking forward to it?
I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm a sucker for Crypto. Like, I'm going to name my future dog Crypto. Titus is funny in the comics, like when he's ever involved. So I really like that they're going to involve the pets. So that's why I'm getting this. Like, me and Alex will drop this, but I'm definitely coming back on at least for the annual, not for the actual series, because I know they'll kind of go back in the background after this. But I'm like, give me a good super pet story. I'm pumped.
If this was a silent issue, like what Hawkeye issue 11 was, when Fraction and Aha were doing it, I would get this book just to see the two dogs do their thing. But if Robin and Superboy are going to be in it, I have no interest in it. And I get it's called Super Sons, but I'd much rather have just be Super Dogs.
Well, we'll pitch that book. Here we go. IDW Publishing. Let's see what they got coming out tomorrow. They got the always in continuity. Oh, wait, before I mention that, I see Star Wars Discovery number 1. So if you're watching that show and want to read a book about it, there you go.
Star Trek.
What'd I say? Star Wars Avengers number 4. That's the one I'm looking at. That's in continuity. So if you want to read it, go ahead. It's not in continuity, according to Garrett. But also, if you're a fan of Lock and Key, Gabriel Rodriguez is putting out writing and doing art for a book coming out from IDW. Sword of Ages number 1. It looks like it is a mix between science fiction and magic. Might get a little fuzzy, but the lines between heroes and villains will be drawn in blood. Tomorrow, for me, this was going to come down to. It's going to be a choice between this book or the Mystic U. So we'll decide. We'll decide when we get there. But
now, if it helps, this one's also a mini.
Yeah.
So
it's mini, but I love Gabriel Rodriguez's art on Lock and Key. So, and I would imagine. I guess I've never read anything that he's written. So I would have to see if he's a good writer. That's a gamble. But then again, Mystic U, the only person I know there is Mike Norton on art, and I love his art too. So both of them, I'm going to know the artist going in, but I don't know about the writer. So we'll see. TMNT Ghostbusters number 2, number 5. This is Eric Burnham, Tom Waltz, Dan Shoding, and Charles Paul Wilson. Right in the cover, we got Watson. Is that Watson? What's his name? Winston, excuse me, and Leonardo back to back. Alex, how's this book been?
Actually pretty good. The first Ghostbusters TMNT crossover was kind of stupid, and I'm reading this one. It's actually pretty good. All 4 turtles are being hunted by these demonic beings who were hired by a ghost that Splinter had killed. And so you see these turtles jumping through different portals, going to different times. Is what I'm like, holy shit. Someone just exploded, Garrett. Or Marvin.
Nobody heard that because I had my mic off, but go ahead.
Oh, I heard everything.
You did because we're talking. But
anyway, so it's been pretty good. I think this is the last issue, which will be nice. Nice little 5-issue mini.
All right. You're not really a big fan of Ghostbusters, are you?
Not really, because actually all the parts of Ghostbusters I really could give two shits about.
Yeah, so I'm surprised you enjoy this. So like half of it you shouldn't be, but
Alex.
Well, yeah.
When there's something bad in your neighborhood, who are you going to call?
Usually the police have you. 911?
Yeah, I say either the police or I would just take care of it myself.
Don't get Alex started. By the way, I readjusted. I figured the reason why I was reading that stuff and I kept getting mixed up is because the mic stand was in the way of my phone. I don't know why I can't move my phone.
It's that and not your dyslexia.
And also I'm sick. So I decided that noise.
Being sick helps you not to.
That noise you heard, Alex, is I went freehand now. I got the mic in the hand, so let's see how it works out. I got nothing else to fall back on now. Image Comics. This is Black Magic number 9. This is Greg Rucka, Nicola Scott Awakenings 2 Part 3. The Hammer is in Portsmouth. Alex learns the name of one enemy in the face of another. And Rowan's troubles only grow as both Shaman and the baby come due. Oh, first off, Alex, I know you just talked, but I got a question for you. That cover, I'm pretty sure you like that cover.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, probably one of my favorite covers I've seen for this book.
Hey.
Did you see that variant's by Cliff Chang?
Yeah. It does. Even that other cover looks good.
Oh, yeah, it does.
And all the... what was that Michael Lark cover? Was it issue 7? It was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I do have that. I actually bought that one instead of the main cover. Actually, Garrett, didn't you just catch up with Black Magic?
Yeah, I'm all caught up, so I'm finally excited to talk about it on this show. Woo-woo. More excited than you guys are.
Looking forward to this, Alex?
Oh, yeah. It's one of those books that I look forward to. It doesn't come out consistently every month. Whether, either might be the beginning of a month or at the end of a month, and then vice versa. I always look forward to the art inside is so good. Nicola Scott nails it. And you know what? That Greg Rucka, he can ass. I'm so glad that he's back on this book.
Yeah, he's an up-and-comer, that Greg Rucka.
I like how Nicola Scott, in the art, throws in a lot of Easter eggs or lots of detail-oriented things. I feel like the world is just so rich every time you read an issue.
Something even. Sorry, go ahead. I know.
Okay, I was just say it. I mean, yes, I guess I read it all the way through, so it was obviously easier for me. But every time I came on a new issue, just by tapping into that art, I could just remember right where I was at when I left off the last issue. So
yeah, something even as little as changing so that things that are magic are colored and everything that it's not as black and white. Something small as that is even great, just because you'll see something and be like, oh, there's magic there, and right away visually that something's different about that item. And I a lot of times in comics, usually if you get a great artist, they remember that it's visual work also. But it's nice than this. That is pure just visual storytelling, and it's really great. I like it a lot. I'm looking forward to this book a lot. This week. Killer Be Killed, number 14. This is Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, and that Betty Brewmeister on that colors. The shocking conclusion of the third arc of Wait, the conclusion? Didn't just come back?
Wow.
The third arc of Brubaker and Phillips' best-selling series, Dylan's war against the Russian mob hits a fever pitch as the demon returns from the shadows. Hey, he's back, baby. Is he real? Who knows? Probably not. But this is one of my favorite books, and we got an issue coming out tomorrow. We're looking forward to it. What do you think, Garrett?
Yeah, I think it's been solid. Art's been good, and you can just see in the story. Dylan is just getting more and more crazy. He's just he's now remember in the beginning, he used to feel really conscious and guilty about taking a life. Now he does it it's flipping a switch. He's meh. It's I got to do what needs to get done. Everything else doesn't matter.
I'm curious to know how long this series is going to be. Is it going to be one of those things that after he kills the Russians, we're wrapping up this thing in a nice little bow, or is it actually going to be he lives past the Russian fight and actually progresses towards fighting other bad guys in the city, or just taking out the trash, or he decides to retire and settle down with Kira and do all that jazz?
Well, Ed Brubaker said that when he originally pitched, or when he originally was like promoting the comic, he said this was going to be his first ongoing that he's written in a while, and he did label it as an ongoing. So I'm not sure what that means. It could be 50 issues, it could be 30, but I guess we'll see. But I think it's more than, considering like the books he's been writing recently have been minis. I think he just means more than that. And I believe like Velvet was for him a mini, and that was 12 issues. Was it 12? 15. So, I mean, it'll go...
Velvet was 15, Fade Out was 12. So, I mean, he's almost past his longest book already, so maybe issue 20 or 19 or something like that. But I just was curious if there was an end in sight, or if he actually had planned on making more than just this story he's been telling.
If I was a betting man, I would say 30 minimum. But... not a betting man, so you can't get me to bet. Lazarus X plus 66, number 5 of 6. This is Greg Rucka, Eric Trodman, and Balesk Evely on the art. First off, before I read the synopsis here, Evely's been doing art on those Wonder Woman variant covers, and her style is amazing. So already, like, this is already hype for me. But let's read what it's about. Sadie Cooper has spent years not only surviving but thriving as she delivers the family-approved news via CTV. Now she's told one truth too many and finds herself sidelined. When a puff-piece story leads to an explosive revelation, she must decide what matters more, the truth or her life. I'm guessing maybe it's going to be about reporters in the Lazarus world, and it looks like maybe a hitman coming after her to silence her. I'm really looking forward to this. Alex, what do you think about Lazarus?
You know, issue 4 of Lazarus X plus 66 was really, really good. We got to see the other Lazari doing stuff. I like how this series takes some characters we may only know from one panel or one book altogether and gives a little bit more spotlight, lets us see more of how they live in this world. Whether or not I'm excited, sure, I love a good Hitman story, so maybe she won't die, but that guy with that sweet-ass gun, he's going to be doing some hunting.
That cover is bitchin'. That looks like a James Bond cover. Like, that looks awesome.
Garrett, what do you think about this mini overall?
Oh, it's been incredible. I mean, it's kind of like one-shots in the Lazarus universe, but... you know, as a storytelling device, like, this is just planting seeds for future story. So we know we're going to probably come across most of these characters again. And instead of seeing, like, when you see them for 2 to 3 panels in a story coming up, instead of just being like, oh, new character, you're going to be like, holy, there's a lot more back history to those characters than what we get to fully see coming into the story.
So, yeah, what I'm hearing you say is that these characters have more stakes in this book.
Nice. I mean, it's more like a medium well instead of a medium rare stakes. Nice. So,
I agree. You're right. When they show up in the story now, I'm going to be like, I know that person, rather than being like, oh, who was that again? And I think it's a great way for, especially like a book like Lazarus that has so many characters. It's a great way to, as Alex put it, to put the spotlight on some characters to be like, that person's important. That person means something. And even if later they turn about a story and they're like some sort of C character in a story, I'm like, well, they mean more to me now because I read that story. I know who they are. Great book. I'm looking forward to it, especially that issue. Like I said, Evely's art's amazing, so looking forward to it. Spawn 280. This is Derek Savage, Jason, Sean, Alexander. Garrett, what do you think? Spawn.
I'm actually really, really disappointed in this series right now. I have been getting it for the last 30 issues, and I'm going to finish through this arc, but man, has it been hard to get through. I mean, they were announcing this arc as they were bringing in a guest writer and a guest artist, It was going to be a tale of horror, basically. And I thought it'd be like 3 issues. When I found out it was 6, I got really upset because I'm like, this is just not good. And I have to suffer 6 months through this storyline. So, this is the second to last issue of this arc. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm going to get it. But basically, I'm going to see what the next arc's about. And if it's anywhere near what this crap is, then I'm dropping it. Like, Spawn can be so much more than what this crap is. So, don't recommend it right now. Not this arc. Don't jump in. You'll be pissed off. Wait till hopefully the next one and it'll pick back up.
Marvel.
I feel like Spawn's losing its direction. Sorry, last thing I said.
Literally. That's hilarious. You literally just reiterate yourself. I can tell how disappointed you are. You're really into that book.
I love it, and I'm just pissed that it's like going downhill.
Marvel Comics, the Legacy. I couldn't think of anything to say. Here we go. Let's see what books coming out for Legacy. Darkhawk, number 1. If you're number 51, but it's number 51, 1 of 1. It's one of those one shots they're doing. The Return, part 1 of 1, and also the finale. So if you're interested in Darkhawk, not many people are, but is Hyperion going to be in the comic? If he is, I'll get it, but not just for Darkhawk. We'll see. So if you want to read Marvel's Batman, go ahead and read that, or read Moon Knight number 189, written by. Oh, why want to pop open here? Here we go. Written by Max Bemis, Jack and Burrows on art. I really like that cover. Crazy Runs in the Family Part 2. Alex, did you get the first part of this?
I did. I read the first part. I love this book. Did you not get it?
It was sold out.
Oh.
So
I would suggest get this book if you can. Whether it's digitally or...
Twist my leg. I'll get it.
I
like this one a lot.
No, Moon Knight, 189.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even hear the translation.
Doesn't hear you, drunk bastard. That's not what we're talking about.
Moon Knight, okay. Moon Knight's good. Nice.
Moon Knight was awesome. So, I don't know what else to really tell you about it other than they talk a lot about Egyptian, like what you're seeing on the covers, what you're seeing inside.
Amazing.
So, to be fair, spoilers, first issue, Moon Knight's not in it. But there's a lot of build up into what's going to be going on. Holy shit. There's a lot of Egyptian gods being talked about. I'm just so excited to see what this book has in store. But this is a book I've been waiting to have. So
we'll see. I mean, the last 2 teams that were on the book were pretty great. So let's continue with the third. Lucky 3. That's what they say, right? No, nobody's ever said that.
That's what I hear.
Old Man Logan, number 31. This is Ed Brisson, Mike Diodato. The Scarlet Samurai, Part 1. Old Man Logan, the man who was Wolverine, is up against a foe like no other. The Hand. What do you guys think? He's going against the Hand.
Sold.
Ever since Ed Brisson took over, this series has been gold. Just look at that cover. That cover is just so incredible.
It feels like such a long time since issue 30 has come out.
Right.
That I keep going, oh man, did I forget to get the book? No, I finished it. I tell you what, like you said, Brisson's kicking some major butt on this book, and I'm so excited that I'm still reading it, that I didn't drop off on the end of that Jeff Lemire run.
Right, that would have been a shame. I mean, Jeff Lemire's run was good, but this is just something way out of left field that you didn't think Ed Brisson can do based off the Bullseye mini, and man, it surprises me every week, and it's just been, as Alex would say, aces.
Boom.
Is this a book that you could jump on in this issue, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think this is a fresh part to jump in. I'm sure they'll do a little recap going, hey, fight Maestro. And that's all you need to know. You're going to be going up against the Hand. You know what? DD or Electra. You
just need to know that Logan is an old man, and you're in.
Whoa.
Venom 158. This is Mike Costa, Mark Bagley on the art. It's all or nothing as Venom and Kraven square off for their final battle. I assume that means, Alex, this is your final issue. How's the arc been?
You know what? Actually, pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to keep getting this book after Kraven leaves or dies or kills Venom or what has you.
What if Kraven becomes Venom?
I tell you what, if this was Kraven instead of Venom, I would get it. And I want it when he becomes Venom. He just goes, fuck that name. I'm calling this Kraven. I would be on it like this, like instantly. It's been good. I've enjoyed it. I think a part of it is that it's not all about Spider-Man. It's not all about Venom. Even a lot of it, that last issue, was just about Kraven hunting these dinosaurs. So it's good. I'm excited for it to be done, though. I'm one of those guys that a reason to drop a book is good. So
that's it for Marvel Comics. Down below in the Upside Down. By the way, finished Stranger Things 2. The only thing I can find down here is Reactor number 1. This is Donny Cates, Dylan Burnham. There's Weep, your average machine gun wielding teenager raised on an Earth overrun with vampires. There's Polly, who landed on Earth with a mission to kill every damn vampire there. And then there's King Luke, heavily fortified blood farm. You do the math. From Donny Cates and Dylan Burnham comes Reactor, a whole new entry into the worlds of vampire warfare, ore-powered mech suits, and a 10-year-old president that Interceptor kicked off. It looks like this is the second part of a story. But Donny Cates, I like Donny Cates. He always tells fun stories. This might be fun if you're looking for a new book. Go ahead and jump on that. Interceptor. Or, yeah, that's what it's called, isn't it? Receptor. There's a little John Wick comic coming out if you're interested in that, but nothing else really for November 29th, 2017. It's a very light week. You could try some new things if you your usual books aren't coming out, or if you're brand new to comics and you're looking to jump in. Nice point. You can get any of these annuals, or you can get some of these new books we talked about, or Old Man Logan, like you guys said. Jump on that. Garrett, what are you looking forward to tomorrow?
I gotta say Batman Creature of the Night, but if I had to pick a second, it would be the Super Sons Annual, because I love me some crypto. So bring it on.
Alex, what do you think?
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking Moon Knight 189 and Black Magic number 9 are my two topic, at least other ones that Garrett didn't already mention.
Well, we all got 3 different ones this week. For me, it's Batman Annual number 2 and Lazarus X plus 66 number 506. Nice. Actually, pretty solid short week. So not a lot, but what is coming out is quality. At least it sounds like it on paper. So we'll see. By the way, how's that weather looking like for tomorrow, Alex?
It may be a little cool in the morning when you wake up, but it sounds like it's going to be like a 41-degree day. And in the end of November, that's a freaking surprise. That's like one of the best Christmas gifts you could get. Nice, comfy weather, mild weathered. You know what? All you got to do is wear your sweatshirt, have some apple cider, maybe have a cup of coffee, not near your books. But you can have them before.
One time I was drinking a glass of water by my books and I spilled that on my books. What do you think about that?
That would explain why my heart hurt so much that
day. Garrett, how are the roads looking like tomorrow?
The roads, they're actually going to be pretty busy. There's a lot of heavy hitters out there. So a good day to get put your coffee on a timer. Set it for nice and early so that you can have a nice cup of Joe on the way. And, you got to get your books quick because, yes, your books might be more expensive, but that means there's less copies on the shelf.
Hey, Garrett, what's the best part of waking up?
It's Folgers. I don't know. Tell me your corny joke.
It's Folgers in the cup.
Folgers in your cup.
Come on, man. He's too young.
Folgers is shit. Nobody likes Folgers.
Your face is shit.
Your face is shit.
It's a song. You don't know that jingle?
Dude, you remember you and I are old. He's like this young pup who...
Yeah, you guys. Power Rangers came out when you were like 16.
He's a young pup.
Ouch.
He's a young pup 3. In an old man's world. We're just 2 old men. Old man Logan, you could say. And he's just a young Wolverine.
Dude, the way I see him,
Marvin, the grumpy old men.
You and I are like old man Logan and like old man Hawkeye. And this goober over here is like the Spider Woman.
He's like the.
Excuse you.
He's like one of the Hulklings.
There you go.
Yeah, the big Hulkling that beats the shit out of you.
Oh, how?
Well, I stabbed your dad. So
have a happy ending. Here's the thing: from tomorrow on, is considered the holiday season. So have a happy Wednesday.
Why tomorrow?
I'm just saying. Say it's after Thanksgiving. This is the first show after Thanksgiving. Why do you have to be the walls of this show? Let me ramp up to the end so we can end this thing.
Because that makes no fucking sense.
I like how during the forecast you're the like stick in the mud, and then during the main show it's me.
All I'm saying is,
oh Jesus!
Say tomorrow it's the holiday season, and I'm like, why? Because it's November 29th?
I've been Marvin.
Jesus, Garrett. I've been Alex.
And I am currently, always have been, Garrett.
Oof. Everybody, keep reading those books.